It's time to fire this thing up.
Welcome aboard ShipShape TV Essentials. This is your port of call for the most impactful upgrades, expert advice, and hands-on solutions from seasons past. This episode is proudly brought to you by SureHold, because anything worth doing is worth doing bright. From cleaning to protecting and perfecting, SureHold has everything you need to keep your boat shining. Don't just go boating, go showboating. Now, let's hoist anchor and set a course for another exciting episode of ShipShape TV Essentials.
Thanks again for tuning in to ShipShape TV. I'm your host, John Greviskis, on location in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, where if you missed this year's show, don't be too upset, because in the next half hour, we're going to show you some of the highlights. We're going to look at the latest boat designs, marine electronics, as well as marine security. Now, the technologies that we're about to show you are just a few more ways to make your boat ship-shape.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. Ship-shape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ship-shape means trouble-free. Ship-shape means being neater. Ship-shape makes boat work easier. Ship-shape is the way to go. The ShipShape Boat Care Show.
ShipShape, America's favorite boat improvement show, is being brought to you in part by the paint professionals at Cape Marina, located in Port Canaveral, and by WLRQ Light Rock 99.3 FM, playing the best light rock from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and by Boathouse Discount Marine. If you need it, we probably have it.
The first thing I want to show you is a new sensor for the lower unit. You might remember Bob Icemogel from Bob's Machine Shop in Ruskin, Florida. We had him on a few weeks back showing us the Bigfoot nose cone. Let's head on over and say hello. Hey, Bob.
John, good to see you again.
Good to see you. Now, what's this about this sensor that you guys are now distributors for?
Well, John, what we have is it's called the GearSmart.
Okay.
What it is, it comes complete. You have the thermocouple, you have the gauge, and you even have a tape that shows you complete installation of it. I mean, it's as foolproof as anything I've seen with the tape and all. And it's what it is. It's easily installed. All it does, it screws right into where the vent plug itself is, or the dipstick, on an IO as well as an outboard. But what it does, it monitors the temperature of the lower unit or the IO itself. And in that way, if you get any water into it, or if a bearing starts going bad or anything like that, you have a way of knowing it. As it is now, you're completely in the dark.
That is really smart. I can't believe somebody's finally come out with something like that. That's
really
ingenious.
No matter how well you maintain that lower unit, the moment you leave the dock, something could happen.
Absolutely. What's the biggest cause for somebody to lose their outdrive?
Like I say, something could happen. That would be fishing line. That's the biggest culprit. It
Right.
gets in, it gets around the prop, it gets into the seals, literally takes the oil right out of the lower unit, or even puts water into the lower unit.
And that's going to heat it up.
That's right. And in no time at all, you're going to be looking at a costly repair.
What is a costly repair? What are we looking at?
An average any place from $3,500 to $6,000.
Okay, and what is the price of this?
Average price $250.
About $250.
Real cheap insurance.
That is insurance. Let's talk about how somebody gets this.
Well, we have them available. We're the distributor for them down here, and it's you can call us directly at the shop. It's an 800 number,
Okay.
966-3493, Bob's Machine Shop. The name of the product is GearSmart. It's out of Spokane, Washington, made by Consolidated Electric.
If you were to do it yourself, how long would it take you to do this project?
You're looking at not more than a couple hours. It's a very simple installation.
Okay, great. Bob, I love this. This is ingenious. Thanks a lot. Right now, I want to show you a new hull design on one of the latest Regals, actually the Regal 2100 LSR. Let's go have a look. It's a pretty radical hull design, and with us to explain it is Bruce Butler from Ginoni Marine in Pompano Beach, Florida. Bruce, what's going on here?
John, Regal's won the MTech Innovation Award of the Year with this new design hull.
Now, a traditional hull, actually a smooth hull, sucks into the water before it pops up. Suction is created with the hull and the water. they've done something, they've broken up the surface a little bit.
That's correct. The changes they've made is introduce these steps that you see forward there, and that breaks the suction of the water.
Okay, what do we have going on here? What's this thing?
What this is this induces air into the bottom of the hull, almost creating a vacuum that pulls the hull up onto plane.
Well, that's great. That's got to save on horsepower. What kind of horsepower does it take to run this boat?
We have a V6 in this, which normally would need a V8 to push this boat 55 miles an hour through the water.
Well, that's got to be saving people a lot of money. You know, the majority of the cost of a boat is the engine, and when you can give somebody a V6 instead of a V8, they got to be saving some cash.
They save it both on the initial purchase and the operating expense of the boat.
Now, where can people come and actually touch and feel and experience this boat?
These boats are available at Ginoni Marine and Pompano Beach.
Great, thanks, Bruce.
Thank you.
Right now, we need to go to break, but you want to stick around because when we come back, we're going to show you some other highlights of this year's Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. Stick around.
Surehold brushes are the go-to choice worldwide for quality deck brushes, featuring split-end bristles that hold more soap and water for effortless and effective cleaning, an iconic solid wood block that is exceptionally durable and long-lasting, a rubber built-in safety bumper that protects surrounding surfaces from accidental damage, corrosion-resistant fittings made from marine-grade alloys that will never rust or corrode, SureLock system compatibility for positive locking into any SureHold handle. Quickly and easily change brushes while saving space and time. Each SureHold brush is proudly built in the USA to SureHold's famous quality standards. SureHold, clean and simple.
Welcome back to ShipShape TV. I'm John Greviskis on location at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. Where with me today is Dave Black from Morse Controls. How are you doing?
Good, nice to meet you.
Good. Now, what is the deal with your new hydraulic steering system?
Okay, this is a new hydraulic steering system for outboards from Morse Controls, their high nautic division. And what's new about it is we have a new way and a new cylinder that attaches to the outboard engine. When I say new, the traditional systems used to attach through the tilt tube,
right?
And there was a lot of corrosion problems there, and it would cause a lot of problems and a lot of maintenance and upkeep. And our new system attaches to the front of the engine by way of a universal bracket, and this system will attach to about 98% of all the outboards from about 1988 to the present time.
Hey, that's great.
And that includes Mercury, OMC, Yamaha, Suzuki, almost all the outboards. And we have a new powerful cylinder that has a strong 7/8" rod with a link arm that goes back to the tiller extension. And when you turn the wheel, you'll notice that our cylinder does not move back and forth.
Oh, yeah, that's not doing that at all.
Which the other systems do. So that creates less flex on the hoses and no wear of the hoses.
Sure, sure.
So it's an easy system to install. And basically with this system, you have a helm, a cylinder, hose, fittings, and oil. We supply all that in our kit.
But where's the reservoir?
Reservoir is built right into the helm.
Fantastic.
And also the helm is where you bleed and purge the system along with 2 bleed fittings on the cylinder. And it's a very easy system to install and can be bled in about 10 or 15 minutes.
Well, this has got to help with the smaller boat guy who wants to have hydraulic. You know, we never recommend that somebody takes their hands off of a helm. But let's face it, a lot of guys go out there and run a boat by themselves, and when they're fishing, they want to be able to do this. What kind of, is this going to rudder back?
There's no rudder feedback on this system at all. From either rudder or from an engine, there's no rudder feedback.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have experienced in smaller boats sometimes when you throttle the boat up, and the torque on the engine has a tendency to pull the steering wheel aside. You won't get that feeling at all on this boat.
Fantastic. Now, how do you determine what length hose to get with your boat?
Okay, our system comes with 50 foot of hose in it with swedged on hydraulic fittings on both ends. And what we recommend is that you take that, cut it in half, you have 2 25-foot lengths, attach the swedged on fittings to the back of the helm, run the hose down through the boat to the back of the cylinder, cut it off so it's nice and even and custom to the length, and then we supply 2 reusable fittings that anybody can install themselves with 2 wrenches.
Well, 25-foot run, that's plenty of hose.
That's enough hose for most applications. Boats 25 foot, up to 25 foot.
Dave, what are we looking at price-wise?
Our system retails for $9.95.
Okay. And where is it? Where can we get it?
Available anywhere in the country at any marine dealer.
Great. Well, you guys at Morse are doing a lot of great things for boating. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You might remember last year when we were at the Miami International Boat Show, we showed you the renderings of the Mako 33, and today we're on it. We're actually on the 333 with Ed Cunuti, who is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing It's come to reality. It's
Yes.
here. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. Tell me about the boat.
Well, we're all really pleased with the way this boat turned out. It was our flagship project this year, and it's met our expectations, and it seems that it's meeting the marketplace's expectations also. This is you're looking at hull number 5, and you know, we're very pleased and proud of the way it came out.
Well, what I like about the boat is you have the best of both worlds. The guy has it because this is a real ultimate fishing machine. I mean, this baby's laid out, but also you have a lot of nice amenities. You have a lot of nice comforts on this boat. Tell us about that.
Yeah, actually what we strive to do in this boat is to build on the strong fishing tradition of Mako and design a boat that has all of the fishing amenities almost that anyone would want.
Right.
In addition to that, we also, in the forward part of the boat, tried to build in amenities that, a cruising family would like also. Fishing-wise, this boat's equipped with probably the largest live well in captivity.
Holy
As you
cow.
can see, this is big enough for you to get in, John.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Our objective was to give you something that's about the size of a 55-gallon drum, and this actually turned out to be bigger in capacity.
What I like about it is the gunnels. The gunnels are very, very wide. And, you know, I can just imagine if I was fighting a fish, I've got plenty of room underneath that gunnel for my feet. I'm not stubbing up against the bulkhead, you know. I've got some room down here.
Sure.
You probably have ample room for storage as well,
Yeah,
which I see that you laid out.
Yeah, the wide gunnel does a couple things for you. One, it does give you the tow room, which you just said. Gives you a place underneath where you can put your rod racks, so you can store your fishing rods below that.
Right.
Also, it's just a safe walkway. So as you're going up forward, you can see that you have a pretty wide, about a 14-inch walkway going up to the bow of the boat.
Ed, she's a beautiful boat. Now, let's talk about some of the other amenities, like power options and stuff that the boat comes with.
Okay, power options, you have a number of choices. We think probably the most popular choice is going to be a pair of twin 250 horsepower outboards. With that power plant, you could probably cruise the boat in and around 30 miles an hour. And
What kind of range?
with this fuel, with the 350 gallons fuel here, you probably have 300, 325 mile range on it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So you can range pretty far with this.
This is hull number 5.
Yeah.
Now, what if somebody wanted to see this? Now, this show's running a week after the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, so they can't see it here, but can they see it anywhere?
Yeah, we're beginning to ship the boat to our dealers. Our 3 South Florida dealers have boats in stock, or will have them in stock shortly.
Okay.
Fortunately, and we're getting great retail activity, so some of the boats that have been shipped are already leaving the dealership. But we'll be shipping at a pretty rapid pace. We'll have a boat in the New York Boat Show. For sure, and a variety of other boat shows throughout the winter season.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ed, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for showing us the new 333. In the beginning of the show, we were talking about marine security, and Magard, you might know them for their automotive techniques in helping with lock nuts on wheels. Well, they've taken that a step further. There's been a real rash, Bob, of thefts of your stern drives, your outboards, and your propellers. And Magard is really helping out. You're the distributor for them. Tell us about it.
Well, what they've come up with is what they call their Marine Theft Protection Program. In that they have a type of lock which actually replaces one of the existing nuts on your stern drive, on your outboard motor lock itself, or the prop lock. And what this is, it's a surgical stainless sleeve that's on the outside, and inside of this you have a naval brass nut with an eye lock. It won't back off or anything.
Okay.
Now this is the prop lock we're talking about, but they're all essentially made the same way.
Right.
And then you have a socket here, which is a spanner type socket, and it's a keyed. They're not all the same.
Okay.
Meaning that you have to have this to be able to remove that nut.
I understand.
And if someone was to try to grip down on this with a pair of channel locks, a vice grip, or something like that, the only thing this would rotate on the outside, but you cannot turn the nut on the inside.
This is great technology. What does something like this run?
Well, the prop lock is the most expensive, but it's still only like $39.95. And then you have the outboard motor locks. They're like $19.95, and then you have the stern drive locks, which is $14.95.
Unbelievable. Could we see one of the prop locks on?
We have one right here.
Okay.
And you can take a look, this is where it's installed, and you can see right here how it rotates. You know, if someone was to try to get this off by player pliers or pipe wrench or vice grips, it won't come off.
That is really great.
And you can't squeeze that tight enough. Even if you could squeeze it tight enough down on that naval brass, it's not going to grip. It's still going to spin around. So you have to have the spanner socket to remove it.
Bob, this is great technology, and this is really going to help in detouring fees from taking it off of your boat. So some crucial stuff you might want to think about getting.
Today on Chapman's Corner, we want to talk to you about a safety cutoff switch and how it works. On this particular vessel, personal watercraft, this is a mandatory piece of equipment. Most vessels under 20 feet in length, power-driven vessels, are going to have some type of emergency cutoff. Let's take a look at the mechanism itself. We've got a wristband that the operator will wear. We've got a little bungee cord here, and we have the actual plug that's going to go behind the kill switch. We're going to put that behind there because without that, the engine's not going to start. We're going to go ahead and fire up our engine and show you how it works. That's what it does. It kills that engine. If I fall overboard, the engine's dead, and I can swim back to the vessel and get safely on board. From Chapman School of Seamanship, this is Tom Dante.
Today on What's Out on the Water, we're again with my good friend Bob Stella of Stella Marine at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, where we're going to show you some of the Carver motor yachts out on the market. Bob, good to see you.
Good to see you, John. Welcome to the show.
Now we're on the 455 motor yacht, and Bob, it's a very prestigious boat. Tell us about it.
Well, Carver's been making boats for over 40 years now, you know, and it's my 10th boat show in Fort Lauderdale. The new 45 Carver motor yacht has just been introduced at this show in a new 2-stateroom model. This is a new generation of Carvers. We also do the new 50 cockpit, which is next to us, which is the same boat, only with a cockpit extension.
So if guys want to fish, they can.
Want to fish, you want to dive, it has a terrific transom door. Notice the sliding doors in the back of the boat.
That's a great feature. You know, it's almost like opening up your patio doors, but rather than going out to a garden or whatever, you're going out to the beautiful ocean.
That's right, and what it does, it gives us an opportunity to add more fuel with the boat, so you've got almost 700 gallons of fuel, so you've got a tremendous range with the boat.
What kind of range are we talking about?
You're talking around an 800-mile range. If you were cruising at 20 miles an hour, you want to cruise less, you can get up into probably 50-hour range.
I got you. Now let's talk about power options, Bob.
Okay, of course, these boats are powered with diesel engines, large Cummins diesels, the new 450s, and they're very fuel efficient. Actually, the statistics show if you cruise the boat at 20 miles an hour, you'll burn 20 gallons an hour. However, these boats will cruise at 25 miles an hour and top at 30.
That's great. Now, on the 455 motor yacht, you've got a completely enclosed aft cabin, air conditioned?
Everything's air conditioned. Actually, there's 5 air conditioning units in the boat. The new hard top and the glass enclosure in the aft deck has its own air conditioning unit. Up on the flybridge, you notice it's got a glass enclosure, and it's also air conditioned. So you can cruise the boat rather than have the wind beat you up or the sun beat you up. You cruise in comfort with the air conditioners on.
Well, you know, Bob, these are real entertainment centers. Carver really puts out a boat that you can entertain on. But it's more than just entertaining. It's a lifestyle that you get into.
Sure, it's a lifestyle, and it's great for the family. And you know, as we get older and the family grows up, of course, you need more room in your home, and you need more room in your boat. And the average individual today that's coming down and moving to Florida is buying his first boat as a 40, 50-foot boat, 30-foot boat.
Absolutely. You know, one of the reasons you do move to Florida is to get into boating and to get into the water sports that we have, and there's no better water sport than boating.
Get rid of all those pressures, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, the boat's big enough to accommodate the kids and all of that. Let's talk about price, though. Are we going to be able to afford a boat like this?
Boats are very affordable. You know, we're owned by Hatteras Company, of course, and, you know, in Hatteras, a similar boat is over $1 million. These boats here are directly made for the family cruising guy, and it's also affordable. We have 32-foot boats, at the show up to 50 foot, and they range anywhere from 130,000 up to 500,000.
Well, you know, Carver pays a lot of attention to detail. You have some very unique features on the inside of this boat. Tell us about that.
Well, the features on the boat inside, we have white maple interiors, which is real wood. There's no veneer. It's absolute real wood. You've got Corian countertops. You've got 2 or 3 staterooms, depending on your choice of the layout.
Got a couple of different floor plans.
Beautiful dinettes. They're space engineers. They've utilized the space tremendously.
Well, Bob, how do we get to a Stella Marine?
We have both locations, one in Palm Beach at PGA Boulevard, and we have one in Stewart, right at Monterey Road in Stewart. And, you know, just call, stop by, give us a call. We're in the book. We'll be at the show till Tuesday with a large selection of Carver yachts.
Bob, love the boat. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
See you soon. Welcome back to ShipShape TV. We're to the point of the show where we've got to about wrap it up, but before we do, I want to show you something that really touches my fancy, and I'm talking about the Fisheye underwater video camera. And with us is Nancy Rink, the co-inventor and president of Fisheye. Nancy, why would you consider getting an underwater camera?
An underwater camera, it's great. It opens the world underwater to you. You can see fish, you can see all sorts of life, you can find treasure.
That is awesome.
It's a blast.
I know a lot of fishermen are getting these things, and basically what they're doing is they're kind of swimming this behind the boat, and you can see the bait, and you can see the fish come up and hit it and all that. I think that's awesome. Now this, I want you to explain this contraption. This is cool.
This is our treasure hunter, and it's an accessory we offer, and it's for if you drop your sunglasses or your keys.
Okay, I'm going to test you here,
water.
Nancy. Go ahead. Let's see if we can pick it
so
up.
You just drop it down.
Imagine this is the ocean floor, okay, and you sit there and you drop it, you pick that up. Unbelievable. Nancy, what are we looking at price-wise for the camera?
The color cameras with 100 feet of cable retail at $2,000. The black and white cameras retail at $1,400.
How do we get a hold of you?
Give us a call in Everett, Washington at 1-800-FISH-969.
That's Fisheye Cameras. Nancy, thank you. Yep. Guys, we're about out of time. Until next week, keep your boat ship shape.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. Ship shape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ship shape means trouble-free. Ship shape means being neater. Ship shape makes boat work easier. Ship shape is the way to go. The Ship Shape Boat Care Show.